Hello, today I will be rebuilding my Ventum 33. Got it here in the vise. Gonna run the Hamsky on it again, like the Matthews, remove that rebound dampener, just go from the spring there. I'm gonna do green. Green, 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 green. That's got green on it. May have to redo some arrows. I do have some axis that are green and yellow mixed. So should be fun to see how this one turns out. If it's anything like the Matthews, which I'm sure it will be, you know, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time of setting it up and trying different things should be even better. I like to tinker. It's fun. This is my hobby. This is what I've made my career out of, is archery and tinkering. So it's fun. Some guys work on cars or whatever. This is what I like to do. So let's see how she turns out. The Hoyt Ventum 33 is rebuilt, and it's better. It really is. So here's the things I did differently. First, notably, is something that I don't hardly ever do. So on my loop and knock set, I did just a bottom knock set, still with a little bit of a gap to eliminate pinch. Works good. I figure I haven't done that in several years. I'll try it out and see. Same as with my V3. I sometimes forget that although color coordinating serving for your peep sight looks good, for me it distracts my eye having that little bit of extra brightness, and I also like a black peep because it gives me better clarity. So all greened out, green limb savers, green cat whiskers, green cord, Hamsky Trinity with spring, no rebound dampener. I'm also going to try both bows without the monkey tail on there. Bows, honestly, they sound louder when you're the shooter versus somebody standing a couple feet away. They're like, man, that bow's quiet. So I think I'm speaking for myself, get in our own heads about sound. The bow's just not as vibration free as the Matthews, so that kind of can give some perception of it being louder, but it's all good. Got a black gold 3-pin on there. High-tech dampeners, love these things. And then I think this is an 8-inch bee stinger micro hex with 4 ounces of weight on the front there. Surprisingly, if y'all remember, I was getting a right tear out of this bow, so I'd shim that bottom cam over. Shooting different arrows out of this bow, I had some Axis 340 match grades built up, and they tore a left tear out of it, just ever so slightly. I changed out 100 grain points to 125, and every single shaft I shot through it. I think I have 10 arrows. I shot all of them through paper, and they were all bullets. So good sign, really tuned well. So I'm gonna get outside, shoot it. I am running the 25 grain aluminum half outs on here. That's kind of before I knew better. When I built this batch a couple years ago, these aluminums do get tweaky, so I'd probably preferred having stainless in there, but since I have 10 of them built up, I'm gonna shoot them, see how they do. These weigh 437 grains, so they should be shooting right about 270 feet per second out of the Hoyt. Outside testing coming up. Here's your invite to consider subscribing. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Check out my Instagram, and let's go see what she does. I waited a few hours to come outside. It's about 7:20. It's pretty hot today. It's pretty humid. There's a lot of bugs out. I honestly don't know if I could have handled Tennessee's humidity and bugs and all of that, but anywho, I just shot my first 3 shots with this outside, 30 yards. Small adjustment to the sight after the first arrow was at about 10 o'clock. next two were pretty well centered. So on this black gold 3 pin, I'm going to set those 3 initial pins, 20, 30, 40. How I like to set up a 3 pin for me personally, I'll put that middle pin, which will be my 30-yard pin, kind of in the true center of the housing. I'll sight that in first, not using the dial of death, just by using the gang elevation adjustment on there, which is going to be loosening up that screw in there, moving the housing up and down. So I get that set at 30. Then I'll individually adjust the top pin down above it for 20, and then I'll go back to 40 and adjust that bottom pin up and down individually till it's on at 40. That way all my pins are centered in the housing. Now if you're wanting to get max distance out of your sight, because once you move the dial of death, you're only going to be aiming with your bottom pin as your floater. So this one being a 20, 30, 40. As you dial it down, you're going to use that bottom pin for 41 through 100 plus. To get max distance, you're not going to be centered in your housing, but you can start by sighting in your 40-yard pin to where it's just above the bubble, using your gang elevation of the housing. Then your other 2 pins are going to end up just above it in there. So yeah, it's good. Not really a health update, but I've had a few questions from people about my health. So I do have active hairy cell leukemia. I also have chronic congestive heart failure, which was caused from the chemotherapy in 18 of the leukemia. Came back this May, so August 10th, I believe, I'll be going in for blood work. It's in a monitoring stage right now to see when I need to go through chemotherapy, and then I'll also have to do something new this time called immunotherapy. I will put together a video here sometime soon, just so people out there, because it's a very rare blood disease. I think only 2% of the world is diagnosed with it a year. So I just want to, I'll put out a video, a story about how I discovered it, symptoms that I had, pre-treatment, during treatment, post-treatment, future treatment, how all that's looking. So stay tuned for that. Let me plug a couple arrows here. Seven o'clock dot. Centered. These bugs are getting me. Yeah, 11 o'clock out of the dot. So there's my 3 at 30. Last one, threw it out. Oh well. All right, feeling good about this bow. Still think it's kind of my favorite bow this year. It just, every time I pick it up, it just shoots really, really good. It just pounds. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe, all that business. Have a wonderful week. Here's a PS for you. I had to shoot 2 more, even though these like little tiny flying ant looking things are biting the crap out of me. This bow's a winner. It really is my favorite. Yes, it has a little more vibration. It is quieter now. it just shoots. I mean, there's 2 at 30. I'm fatigued. They're stacked. They're a little bit left. I'm in love with this bow. I really am. It is a solid, forgiving shooting machine. Okay, bye.